goes.
There we are.
Yay! And it says excellent connection. But we know that means nothing.
It does mean nothing.
It's said it's really struggling, but everything's been fine. And usually when everything is messed up, it says everything's fine.
Now it looks good.
Yeah. I'm trying out some things with this rust. On the first gun, I laid it on pretty darn thick, and so I guess I'll try a little bit of a different recipe on every gun and see what I like. I figure these guys are gross.
Yeah, that's probably a safe bet.
So the guns are all nasty. But damn, that is a rusty gun. Lucky bat. First time's a charm.
Yeah.
Michael Spitz. Howdy. Howdy do. Sorry I'm late. Twice.
Yeah, how dare it. How dare you be late twice.
Clockwork Spider. Why do you want dislikes? Well, why don't you leave a dislike and see what happens?
Oh, boy.
I think with the rust, it's going to end up being a little bit less is more.
Like that you have the Black Templar model over you still?
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh my gosh, the Black Templar community was in a absolute civil war because some people were like, that model is hot trash, and other people were like, it's good. And people were making memes of how bad it was. People were like, how dare Games Workshop do this to us? And then other people were like, yeah, but it's clearly all right? And then eventually a bunch of posts got deleted. It was great.
Wow. This is on a Facebook page?
Yeah, I'm a part of 3 different Black Templar Facebook pages, actually.
You know, you're probably the youngest person on there.
But I think the model looks good. Not the greatest model ever, but definitely not a bad model.
I mean, it is a Space Marine, so...
Yeah.
That's my take. That's my hot take.
Clockwork is better. Done. What happens? I feel dirty. Exactly.
Good. Yeah, that's the goal. We want you to feel dirty.
Internet man, I like the Templar model. I do too. I think it's just people who enjoy like hating on the new thing because it's fun. And like I think some people just hate like Primaris, or like because even though it's not technically a Primaris model, but it's wearing kind of Primaris armor because Primaris armor and Space Marine armor is like identical, except for one looks better, and it's the Primaris. But also, like, some people's complaints were just complaints about 40k. Like, they're like, the tabard's too long. I'm like, that is Space Marines. Every Space Marine dick tabard has been too long. It shouldn't even exist.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I like how that's not the problem. Wow, if I resize my window, it puts me into top chat.
Yeah, nice. It was meant to be.
Exactly.
Dancing of Doom. I'll probably get the Black Templar model, but I won't paint it as a Black Templar. I'm probably going to create my own Space Marine chapter. Ooh. There is in the Black Templar 4th and 5th edition codex. I think it existed between both of those editions. There is precedent for other chapters to use Emperor's Champions. They leave the door open, but they say that it's most important to the Black Templar because the Emperor's Champion is all about like Sigismund, who was the first High Marshal of the Black Templar and the greatest like duelist to ever live in 40k, except for maybe other characters.
And he won American Idol.
And he won American Idol. I feel like a lot of characters in 40k are given the title of like best fighter, like Lilith Hesperax and Abaddon the Armless and everyone else.
Who's lying?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually Commander Farsight from the Tau, who's the greatest swordsman in the universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Take the hunt. Games
That's
Workshop
rough.
hate is the cool thing to do. It is.
We got some Games Workshop hate today.
We did.
Did you see that?
I did.
That was kind of odd.
I also loved the video we came out with on Monday, which you've all watched. Like exactly the same amount of people said that they hate cherubs and love cherubs, which I think is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I like them, although I don't think we've ever gotten a model that looks good. I don't know if it's possible for a model to look good of a cherub. Just a weird baby with a gun or a sword or a tabard or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's one of those things where when you read about it in a book and your brain fills in the gap, it's interesting. But then as soon as it's like a real floaty baby next to a space marine, it's like, ow. Ow.
It does look a little odd.
Yeah. And like, and I said it in the video, but imagine explaining that to a normie.
Yeah.
So why is there a baby next to your space knight? Well, here's the thing.
Exactly.
It's cool. No, I promised.
Yeah, and whatever you say, they're still not gonna get it. It doesn't matter. Like,
Internet man. The only bits of the model I did not like was the loincloth and the red cloth tapes. I did a Photoshop version of cutting it down and moving the loincloth to be in the center more. Yeah, I think I'm fine with the armor. The only thing I don't love is the sword. I liked the old sword more. But it's pretty minor. I don't know if I'll change anything about it. It might just be fine. Fine as is. It didn't knock my socks off. There's actually a cooler pose in like the artwork next to it, I think.
Yes.
Where it's like a two-hand chopping down. But I think they wanted to do a thing where it's in the same pose as the old one to like pay homage.
Mm-hmm.
But
I feel like there's at least 20 models that look exactly like that one in the exact same pose.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have maybe done the fancy pose that they had drawn up. Yeah. They do that all the time. I mean, that's just what happens. It's hard to translate, I think, sometimes the 2D to the 3D.
Yeah.
But the art is always really cool, and sometimes the model doesn't live up to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting.
It sounds like you're a hater.
Yes, I hate it.
But yeah, somebody made a meme of the Black Templar community not liking the new model, but then everyone commented, "No, but I actually like it," and then people started to take down that meme, but then people would post it like every 5 seconds.
That's awesome.
Because the group is made up of 40-year-old babies.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't wait for more stuff to come out and people hate it.
Oh yeah. Imagine being like one of the designers that made that model, and you get to look, because you would look.
Oh, of course.
You'd have to see what people thought, and people didn't like it, and you're like, ow. But then when people enjoyed it, you're like, yay.
Michael Spitz, what has the Mighty Arch said about it, and what are these pigments? These are Secret Weapon Rust Orange. I really like the Secret Weapon pigments because I think they're cheap, although I hate this container because it is really hard to open, and I'm always scared that I'm going to fling the pigment everywhere if I don't open it with if I don't open it incredibly carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Randy, is that a pot of Cheeto dust? It is.
Certainly looks like it.
Dancing of Doom. The only thing that Sigismund could not beat was plot armor. Exactly.
AS, what's your opinion of contrast paints? I got them recently, and they have some really cool uses for metallic paints.
I like them. I like a few of them. I really like black and white, and I use blue. No, wait, I didn't. Did I use blue on these guys? I did. I used Leviathan blue on these models, although I covered most of it up with paint. But it was still nice. I don't think... Like, contrast paint is probably not going to become part of my repertoire, of painting, but I'll pull them out here and there. The only thing I don't like is that they dry pretty quick. You really gotta be on top of them, because it's just somewhat watery paint. Daily Doom got some good news. I got a potential job at Amazon. We'll see how the 2 training days go, and started building my Imperial Knights and got a majority of it done in the past 2 days. Ooh. I know Amazon sometimes has 40k stuff, so maybe you can steal from Amazon.
Steal. Yeah. Good idea.
Be like, yeah, I just never found those Imperial Knights to put in the box. I don't know. There must have been something with the store. Do it.
You would assume people steal all the time from Amazon.
I would hope. I mean, that should just be allowed. It should be like part of the perks of working there, is you get to steal.
But we just can't catch you, but you can steal.
Yeah.
But if we catch you, you get in trouble. But if we don't catch you, it's fine. Take the Hun, not all 40-year-olds are babies. At least not when my mommy's around.
Embarking go live. New Emperor's Champion looks great, except for how he's holding his sword. Yeah, he's kind of presenting it, which is maybe fine. Maybe is a little weird.
I wonder, like, when people are playing the game or painting or whatever, do they think of their armies like in battle, or do they think of them like on the sidelines, or do they think of them like at a base? Like where do they think they are? Because it would kind of make sense if he, I mean, the pose kind of makes sense if you make that the story about him.
Yeah,
he's
like,
presenting the sword, or he just, you know, he's leading a bunch of people into battle or something.
Yeah.
But if you would like to imagine your guys killing things, then it kind of sucks.
Yeah, Jay, you should try to freehand something on one of those Genestealer foreheads. Nah. And Crimson, I find contrast does pretty well when outlining highlights. If you go with a Zenithal, helps me find my shadows if I don't want to use a wash. Yeah, there's definitely a use for them. I kind of want to try out, I know there's another company that does contrast paints, and they're probably way cheaper.
Cheaper than Games Workshop? No way.
Michael Spitz. I watched Star Wars Episode 4 today, and it was pretty fire, but why did Luke keep the name Skywalker if they're in hiding? Well, the reason is because I guess they weren't in hiding originally, and I guess, they figured that Darth Vader, even though he knows where that farm is and is visited, that he'll never come back. So they just thought, it'd probably be fine. Why worry about it? It would be the easiest thing to pretend like we're not Skywalkers on this farm in the middle of nowhere, but it's cool. You know, we'd have to change the mailbox, you know.
Yeah.
From Skywalker Ranch to not Skywalker Ranch, so it's whatever.
Yeah. Sounds like a chore.
Michael Spitz. At Starbucks, we get to steal the drinks that we mess up. Nice.
Just messing up all the drinks. I really, what is the interview process like? Like,
For
I wonder.
Starbucks?
Yeah. And yeah, I guess, like, do they just, you know, I don't know. I don't know what question they could ask. Have you ever made coffee before? I guess it depends. Because they do the barista, because they have baristas there. I've never been there. So they have baristas. Is that also the person that, like, checks you out and stuff too?
I've made drip coffee before, like where you just 2 scoops into the coffee filter, and then you put in 7.5 cups of water, and then. So basically, I'm overqualified.
Yeah, I would say so.
I've never drank coffee in my life because I don't like it, but I used to make coffee for my grandma because she'd watch me when I was a little kid, and so that was my job, is to make her coffee all day.
Exactly. I think nowadays it's child abuse somehow.
Dancing of Doom. Darth Vader won't ever go back to Tatooine because he hates sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Bran Norris. Hey Jay, what light are you using? This is the cheapest LED bar you can get on Amazon. I believe it was $20, and it's adequate. Mm-hmm. It's not nice, but it works.
There you have it.
Really though, I would not suggest it for like a painting. The reason I have it is so that there's a light source really close to the models, because that's what looks good on camera. Mm-hmm. Boy, it took forever to figure out how to properly light this for the camera.
Mm-hmm. It's also not great if you want to do a lot of slow-mo.
No, yeah, it flickers real bad.
And it seems like any frame rate I try, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the reason that this looks good on camera is because the light is like 4 inches away from the model.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew's stolen us. Have you burned coffee before? Yes. Okay, you're hired.
Sounds about right.
Do I have some lead belcher near me? I got it. Usually I buy lead belcher in bulk.
You have a pallet of it?
Yeah.
Pallet
there
of
it is.
belch. Basement Goblin, part 3 again, huh? Oh yeah. There's a little technical difficulties in the beginning. Which I think is really rude. And we are suing Apple, OBS, YouTube. I mean, it's going to be quite the case.
Atreus Bolt! Yay, I made it!
You made it.
Let's see. This actually might not work that good, because the dry brushing might activate the paint, or the pigments. But let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens.
Let's be bad and see what happens.
Yeah, let's be naughty.
Mm-hmm.
I do like how the orange makes it really kind of striking. A lot more than when it was just metally. Oh yeah, this sort of works. Ooh, it is. I mean, I didn't really let the last color dry, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Embarking go live. I'm a Tau man. Really hoping we get a new codex in the next couple months. It's really rough going. I bet they'll get a codex.
I bet they discontinued the Tau.
Yeah, squad 'em.
Echinoconodes, can we proxy these as guardsmen?
Yeah, I mean it's like the same thing, except worse.
Yeah, so if you proxy them, you have to make them worse.
Yeah. Although I would love it if guardsmen could carry heavy weapons. They can only carry special weapons, but I was thinking about how sometimes Genestealer cult aren't fun because you have to paint like 1 million of these guys and then they just die. And I thought a really fun rule could be if you could get them back, because then all of a sudden I feel like it's fun for both people, because the enemy gets to just kill copious amounts of things, but then the Genestealer cult player gets to have guys come back and maybe get things done. So instead of like starting with 120, you'd start with like 60 and end with like 40.
Interesting.
That'd be a cool rule. And it would kind of make sense, just endless blobs of cultists just getting massacred, but because they're so zealous, if that's not a word, I'm sure, but they're such zealots that they just don't give up. Atreus Bolt. Tower gonna get squatted and replaced with a new Space Marine faction. God, I hope. Ultra Primera Space Marines?
Matthew Stolness, who is going to play you guys in a movie?
It's going to be Tom Cruise, and it's going to be one of those double roles where he plays two different characters in the movie.
I mean, I was going to say Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah!
But, you know.
No, you know what? It's going to be another Dwayne "The Rock" Kevin Hart piece.
Yeah! Who's who, do you think?
Oh, I'm Dwayne "The Rock."
Perfect. I'm Kevin Hart. I would say that's about right.
Yeah.
I like Kevin Hart a lot. I think he's really funny.
Matthew Stolness. Ooh, I just finished my Archaeopter. Ooh, is that... Wait, Archaeopter. Is that the old-ass Warhammer Fantasy Cities of Sigmar mini for the dwarves? Or is that like a dinosaur? I've seen a popular dinosaur STL floating around, too. But I feel like it's called an Archaeocopter. Or Archaeocopter.
Have you ever seen Kevin Hart in a movie? I don't think I've ever watched a movie with him in it. I've only seen a stand-up.
Oh God, I feel like I've seen him in stuff. Ah, Blobby T. It's the AdMech flyer. Okay. Kevin Hart. Basement Goblin. Imagine The Rock with a J wig. Yeah! I think he would rock it. I think he would rock it.
I get it.
Where is... perfect. Now I'm going to hit the guns with a little bit of bright silver. Maybe this should be a stipple. This should probably be a stipple. Not a dry brush.
Dancing of Doom, Kevin Hart and Jumanji. That's true.
I didn't see Jumanji, although I heard it was all right.
Exactly.
But I mean, it's hard to follow the original. Like the original is like an absolute classic. Blobby T. Forge World Termies is all we get. Termites is all we get for the AdMech. Isn't there a whole bunch of 30k stuff? I mean, there's a whole 30k faction of Adeptus Mechanicus. Is none of that available for big old 40k? It makes sense if it's not available.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that looks sick.
Yeah.
Little stipplage of bright silver on top of all the different layers.
Lucas Cadman, very little of the AdMech 30k range works in 40k. I don't like 30k. I'll say it.
I've never played it, but I don't love it. Just the idea of it. Also, I mean the what I see of it feels a little elitisty. I mean, it's designed. It's like people go to it when they're sick of 40k and they're like, I need to escape 40k, so I'm just gonna go to the same exact thing. But the models are like 3 times as expensive, so like I can't possibly end up playing a kid or a casual. It feels kind of like that's what 30k is. Also, you have to read those goddamn books. That's another huge, huge thing stopping people from getting into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not gonna read. No way in hell. Dylan Channel, they should just bring 30k machines into 40k with a dark mech release.
Probably. I mean, I know if you play Space Marines, all of the 30k stuff works in 40k.
Yeah. Tate the Hun, reading is for shills.
Yeah.
Blobby T.
True as bolt. 30k models are cool. I love the Mark III armor. Well, the Mark III armor is usable in big 40k, and it's a plastic kit, so it barely counts.
Blobby T, Games Workshop hates Australia. Yes, as an Australian, I can confirm.
Yeah! Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. It's weird to think that it used to be cheaper to play 30k than 40k in Australia. Yep.
That's pretty wild.
To be honest, there are plenty of 30k Marine units that don't work in 40k. Yeah, that's true. The Legion troopers don't. I mean, they have. You just play them as tactical squads, and you can't bring some stuff like Volkite or in whole squads of plasma. Well, I guess you can because of the Primaris now, but. But most people don't count that, except for, well, most people do count that because Primaris is fine. But some people are unhappy because Primaris exists and is fine and is actually good.
Michael Spitz, can we all agree that the mighty Mr. Nugs is greatly missed on the stream?
Yeah.
Yes. I know. There was a big court date today, so that's probably what that's about. Oh yeah. Big court date. So if you could pray for Chicky Nugs, that'd be greatly appreciated. Oh my goodness, Chicky Nugs. You know what they say. Speak of the devil and he will appear. Sadly they're on spring break, so here I am. How was the court date? Did you win?
Lucas Cadman, what do you think of the 30k rumors? A plastic Leviathan Dread for 30k and 40k would be excellent. That is true. I mean, the Leviathan Dreadnought is probably one of the most popular kits. So I definitely would not be shocked if that got a 40k version. Or a plastic version.
It's a little. I feel like. I don't know. Are we done with Forge World? Just roll it all.
Yeah, I think we're done with Forge World.
Because they're doing like plastics and stuff. Just put it on the website. I don't understand. I don't get it. Like I don't know. There's not really a mystique anymore. We all know it's from the same place.
Yeah, and Forge World's worse.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be better. Now it's worse.
Maybe that's why they have it separate.
Xeranus. My favorite Termi armors are the Cataphracti ones from 30k. That is a pretty cool one. Although for me, it's all about Saturnine. Saturnine or get out.
Dylan channel. First stream I've watched in my life, and it's good to see a valued community members labeled after a popular fast food item.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Doing a little glazing on these guys to try to make them a little bit more unique, and they're because I base coated them all with all the same colors, but I want their skins to be different colors. That'll work. Matthew Stolen is 30k the Horus Heresy? Yes.
More like Boris Heresy. Am I right? That's boring.
Lucas Cadman, we are so done with Forge World. I spent a month building my Ravana and will never buy from them again. Cadet Cap 1, what do you think of the new Emperor's Champion? It's pretty good. I'll definitely be getting one.
Is it an immediate purchase, or do you think it's someday?
It'll probably get ordered with the Black Templar stuff. So like, I'll just get it all, unless it all sucks. Then I probably won't get much of it.
What do you think it is? What is your theory? Do you have a theory about it?
I bet it is the Emperor's Champion.
That's a pretty good bet.
Grimaldus, because his novel is really, really, really popular, and Helbrecht, because those are like the characters, and then probably one squad that will be the Sword Brethren. The Sword Brethren, Initiates, and Neophytes. I bet that happens, and it becomes its own thing, unique for the Black Templar. But it'll be mostly just Assault Marines, but with a different thing. And I'll probably have like our super unique rule, which is just going to be like reroll charges or something.
And there we go, if you will.
Matthew Stolen, I just bought a bunch of Horus Heresy characters from Forge World. Figure they can't mess them up too bad. Yeah, the characters you're probably safe with, because that's like their big products that they're proud of. Although, unfortunately, the Black Templar character, Sigismund, kind of sucks. I think he was one of the earliest ones, and he looks bad. He also is just a tiny, tiny little boy for $75.
Yeah, but it's made with that high-quality Forge World resin.
Kino Kinones, I was done with Forge World when I bought some Iron Hands shoulder pads, and the pads broke in delivery because they put them in an envelope.
Oh my god.
It sounds about right.
Why would they do that?
Let's see, what's next? What's next on these guys? Boots! Let's do some boots. Probably get the contrast paint back out.
You're gonna paint them boot colored?
Boot color. This is what I love for contrast paints. Is stuff that I don't really want to paint, so contrast is just gonna do all the work for me.
Boots.
And no one's gonna be like, hey, those boots aren't perfectly highlighted and shaded.
I'll do it. I'll be that person.
Hunter of Ajax, issues with the Custodes armor is a chunk of the range is all Forge World. Yeah, the Forge World Custodes dreadnoughts are probably some of the coolest dreadnoughts out there.
Lucas Cadman, have you ever tried Drop Zone Commander? I think it looks great fun, and painting at 15mm could make for a good video.
I've looked at it a lot because I think the models are really neat. I think they're working on a second edition Drop Zone Commander. So that should be cool. But other than that, I don't know much about it. It's just an alternate reality where multiple different aliens have invaded Earth. And yeah. And it's all about dropping off your troops into zones, Commander. It looks cool though. I really dig it.
Do you know anything about the game?
Nope.
Besides that,
I know there's like humans, like reasonable aliens and weird aliens. Like one group of aliens just kind of are like bright orange.
Which is
have
the
like
closest
feathers.
to Gremlins?
I don't know. There's not really an orky faction.
All right. Well, I can't play the game, so. Matthew Stolness. Contrast Black Templar is great for boots. Use them on my orcs.
Yeah.
Because boots aren't fun. Pants are also not fun to paint on orcs.
I use Contrast Black Templar on my orcs pants. And I actually use the Contrast White on my orcs shirts. Yeah, the black and white is actually pretty legit. I have the browns, and I'm not too happy with the browns. I feel like I'm good at painting with brown.
I have one of the browns too, and I don't like it very much. Aquino Quinones, why is Jay saying alternate reality like aliens weren't confirmed by the U.S.
That's
2 months
true.
ago?
That is true. Aliens are real. Well, unidentified flying objects are real. We don't know that they're aliens yet.
They know.
They do.
They know. Yeah, I remember a bunch of people being excited for the report. I'm like, it's the government. They're not going to tell you anything. It's not like it's going to be fun.
I think that guy from Blink-182, he was right all along, right?
Uh-huh. I don't know. I think we could go for an alien invasion.
Tom
Don't you think that
DeLonge?
would really bring everyone
I think
together?
it would. I think it'd be great. I mean, we'd get stomped out in a second, but...
Yeah, but like for a little bit there, we'd all be singing Kumbaya.
It'd be exactly like Independence Day, I bet. Where the whole world falls, but the plucky Americans figure it out, and they save the world.
Exactly.
By giving the aliens a human Earth computer virus.
Exactly.
And then Bill Paxton is the president, so we'll make him the president in real life, and then he can fly a jet. God, remember that movie? The president of the United States got in a jet to fight the aliens? How awesome was that?
Masker 64. EOB fun fact. Nick is secretly an alien.
Ooh.
Secretly?
You know, though, as corny as Independence Day is, I kind of love that movie. Like, that's a movie that, like, a lot of people hate on because it's, like, it's not good. But I feel like that movie, the performances, the fact that everything is over the top and the special effects are amazing, I feel like it works. It's like how everyone hated Bohemian Rhapsody, but that movie rocks. I don't care if some things were wrong and technically the editing was poor. Like, that movie's awesome.
Yeah, well, obviously you're not a real film buff.
Andy Crimson. So. Bill Pullman, not Paxton. What is it with Bills?
Bill Nye, Bill Clinton.
And hey Jay, or anyone in chat, what was the other brand that also makes contrast paste? I'd like to expand my army of colors. I wish I knew. I don't know. If you look up not Games Workshop contrast paints, I bet they pop up. Chicken Nuggets. Scale 75 made instant colors. That sounds right. Scale 75. Lego Spits. What contrast do you think is the best first contrast, like the most useful? Black and white. Black Templar, and I don't remember the name of the other one.
White.
White.
Is it white scars?
No. It might be. I don't know. It's not in the bucket, which usually means it's right in front of me. I don't see it right in front of me, though. It might be on the other painting desk.
Why would there be paints on the other painting desk? Isn't that weird?
Mm-hmm.
Blobby T, ever look into third-party stuff? You can find some real cool proxies, even a General Grievous Necron Lord.
Yeah, I showed off that model in a video of mine.
Yep.
It's General Grievous by Wargames exclusive.
I think it was like a top 10 coolest third party.
Yeah.
Or like top 10 not 40k models.
Mm-hmm. Atreus Bolt. Mars Attacks is far more accurate. It is. It is far more accurate.
Daniel Bear, Apothecary White.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Mm-hmm. Champ Style. It's because nowadays people can't just enjoy the ride. I agree. Although I think most people really dug those movies. It was just kind of like the critics were like, this is bad technically.
Yeah. Well, we all know that, yeah, critics are really smart intellectuals that really know their stuff. I'm a critic.
Mm-hmm. I do kind of want that General Grievous model. It's pretty badass.
Imagine being sued by Disney and Games Workshop
Yeah.
at the exact same time.
See, Uranus, I have the one coming in the I have that one coming in the mail right now. Ooh. Blobby T. Critics are always cringe. I think it's tricky with critics because they see everything, and so something that they're like, oh, like that would make them roll their eyes because they've seen it so often that it's cliche. To like your average film goer, they don't see that all the time because they only watch a couple movies. I think the best critics are ones where even if they give something a negative review, they've talked about it in a way where you'll know if you'll like it. And then sometimes like Siskel and Ebert were pretty, super famous and people loved them, but often they would like a little bit go on crusades against films where they're like, this shouldn't exist. And it's like, that's kind of overstepping your role as a critic.
Yes.
And then YouTube movie critics are not critics. They're content producers.
I would argue that barely movie critics are critics.
Yeah, well, because what? You're gonna read a film review out of a newspaper?
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could get a Leonard Maltin book.
I don't know what that means.
Leonard Maltin's another famous film reviewer.
Not to me.
From back in the Disney. He actually makes an appearance in Gremlins 2. He apparently gave Gremlins 1 a terrible review, and they asked if he wanted to be in Gremlins 2, and he agreed, and he gets eaten by gremlins.
That's really funny.
Adam Alchemist, critics are really smart. Who else could get paid to say this movie's good? You know what? It's a good point.
Sounds like someone's a critic.
Atreus Bolt, I think the Jackass movies got the lowest critical score of all time. And you know what? Those movies are amazing.
They're pretty good.
I didn't watch those movies for the longest time because I didn't care about skateboarding and people being dumb. But when I finally watched them, I was like, I couldn't breathe because I was laughing so hard. They're amazing.
They're very funny.
Oh, God. Do I have to paint all the little things in their backpack?
You better believe you do.
How much can I get away with just being gray?
Probably a lot of it.
Yeah. Here's my gray paints. I'll just make it up.
Andy Crimson, in other movie news, did y'all know Idris Elba is going to play Knuckles in the Sonic sequel?
I like Idris Elba. He's a lot of fun.
And he's Knuckles now.
We're canceling the apocalypse.
I didn't watch the first Sonic movie, and I didn't know that it did that well to get a second.
I heard Jim Carrey was really good in it, and they beat the animators in order to make them finish the updating Sonic's look, because no one liked it when the trailer came out because it looked really bad.
Oh my gosh!
And so I'm sure they had to spend many long nights.
It did look really bad.
It
though.
really looked bad. Boy, sometimes art directors really do not know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, someone said yes to the Cats designs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the actors have said that there were costumes.
Mm-hmm.
So someone
it's
said
weird.
let's have them have peach fuzz over their naked bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And
That sounds like something I would do.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe they were like a Tay Sway super fan, and they're like, I need that to exist. I need Tay Sway in weird peach fuzz for reasons, and I have the power to make that happen.
Daniel Bear released the butthole cut.
Yeah.
Definitely
Apparently
different
they did I think that was one of those movies where they took it back and then finished some of the animation, which is crazy because there's still like flaws, like things not having shadows and stuff. But they must have fixed some really egregious stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes I feel like they think a little too hard about it.
Yeah. And what's weird is the Cats movie's not bad. It's just that one decision ruins it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've only seen the most hectic scene.
Yeah.
Which is
The
the
worst
roaches and
one.
whatever's going on with that. That's
Another
the only
problem
part
is it's shot like a movie, so there's lots of cuts, which kind of ruins the dancing.
Yeah. It's because they weren't very good dancers, probably.
Lucas Cadman. Genestealer Cult is such a weird army to collect, in my opinion, as they are a horde army which takes ages to paint and costs a fortune while having a codex which has been totally rewritten in FAQs. Yeah, it is. It is a really weird army, but I kind of love it. Genestealer Cult feels a lot like a bad guy video game army.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like ugly humans with weird guns and one uniform across the entire range.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Alchemist, Halo 5 and Halo 4 are blights on the series. It took 343 6 fucking years to figure that out. Neat. Never played Halo. Looks cool though. Matthew Stolas, I've been sitting here looking at this Judas here, and have no idea how to paint it. Well, you're just going to have to hop back in the streams and watch me paint it, because I painted that model on stream.
Yeah.
Flip of the dude. Let's make a movie where everyone is naked and hairy, but we need an actual script. Steal it from Cats the Musical.
Exactly. I mean, literally perfect. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Chicken Yo Jay, I'm sure no one asked, but are you going to get the Templar? Yeah, probably. Lucas Catman. Also, why do 40k players not get jealous of Age of Sigmar armies for getting boxes of troops that have 20 dudes? Look at the new Tomb King's troop choice. Neat. Well, probably not Tomb Kings, but probably Boner Boys.
Boners?
Mm-hmm. I've painted so goddamn many models. I'm okay with things not coming in huge numbers.
Also, it makes a lot more sense for Skellies than it does for
It does.
Space
Marines, yeah. Atreus Bolt. If you like painting black, then Deathwatch is cool. I can't do black armor for that long. Guns are looking so good.
A black armor.
Oh my gosh, I would tap out after painting, several hundred Space Marines in black armor.
Sandstorm 10. Should I do the base first or the mini first?
It depends. If the bases are just sand, probably just do it first and then paint it all together. If you're gonna do something kind of tricky for the base, then probably do it separate. Also, gamers, does your Corax white dry up all the time? It only dries up. It's terrible.
It comes dry. It's pre-dried.
It does. It's pre-dry. But it's not a dry paint. Don't make that mistake.
No. There was water in it at one point.
Mm-hmm. Adam Alchemist, I'm going to start painting my pile of shame. So for EOB complete, do you guys are either getting a mountain of models on top of each other or a vat of uncured resin for a before picture? Love a good vat of resin.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Stolness.
I've been doing some resining recently.
Ooh.
It's been quite a time.
I like the fact that the Deathwatch is made up of all Space Marine chapters, and they spout their own chapter on one of their pauldrons. Yeah, the Deathwatch are probably the coolest Space Marine chapter, because they're like all of the chapters. And I really do like them, but I don't think there's room in my heart and in my house for more Space Marines. I think I'm probably going to sell off what I have now. Might keep enough for kill teams, but that's about it.
Masker64, have you painted a lot of Age of Sigmar on streams?
Never on streams. Although there's a video of both of us painting lots of Age of Sigmar models.
That's very, very true. And you have a video on just how to paint the Stormcast.
That's true. Andy Crimson.
A 2-minute video to basically how to paint that whole thing. Pretty crazy.
There was water in Corax White, but then global warming happens. And speaking of global warming, look at the time, everybody.
Holy cats. Where did the time go?
No, Cats wasn't a very good movie.
Well, on that note, we had a video out yesterday. We have a video out tomorrow at 5 a.m. So make sure you go watch that. And we'll be back with another live stream at 9 p.m. Central tomorrow. So join us for that one.
Chicken Eggs. Do you watch Beastars Season 2? I did. All right, everybody. Good night.
Good night.